Survival experts rely on the rule of threes. You can last 3 minutes without air. You can survive 3 weeks without food. But there is a deadline in the middle that kills faster than starvation. 3 days without water. You don't just need water to survive. You times water. 60% of your entire existence is liquid. Your blood, your brain, your muscles. They are simply islands of cells floating in a saline ocean inside your skin. Now, imagine you are lost. No river, no rain, no bottle. The environment is dry, and the sun is relentless. Even if you stand still, you are leaking life. Every breath, every pore is evaporating your precious reserves. Some people practice dry fasting for 12 hours to trigger autophagy and cleanse cells. Controlled stress can be medicine. But push past that limit, and medicine becomes poison. This is not a cleanse. This is a system failure. So what happens when the river runs dry? When your blood turns into sludge and your brain begins to shrink? Welcome to the thirst deadline. Let's open the lid on dehydration. The first 6 hours. You might not even realize the countdown has started, but chemically, the balance is already shifting. As water evaporates from your skin and breath, the salt concentration in your blood begins to rise. This is called osmolality. Deep inside your brain, a tiny sensor called the hypothalamus wakes up. It is the guardian of your hydration. It tastes your blood. Even a drop in water volume of just 1 to 2% triggers a red alert. The hypothalamus doesn't send a text message. It creates a physical sensation. It drains moisture from your mouth. This is the thirst signal, a gentle, nagging reminder that you need to find a river, a tap, or a bottle. Immediately, while you look for water, your body enters defense mode. The brain commands the kidneys to close the floodgates. Normally, kidneys flush out toxins with plenty of fluid. Now, they are forced to recycle every drop of water back into the blood. The result? Your urine output drops drastically and turns from clear pale to a concentrated deep yellow. This is homeostasis. Your body is sacrificing waste disposal just to keep your blood pressure stable. You can ignore the dry throat for now, but the clock is ticking and your blood is getting thicker by the minute. The easy phase is over. Now begins the struggle of the heart, crossing the 6-hour mark. The water in your cells is depleting, but the real catastrophe is happening in your veins. Blood is roughly 50% water, known as plasma. Without intake, blood volume drops rapidly. Your life force transforms. It stops flowing like a river and starts moving like thick, sludge-like oil. Your heart is a pump designed for liquid, not mud. To keep this thick fluid moving, it has to work overtime. This triggers tachycardia. Your heart rate spikes to over 100 beats per minute, even though you are just sitting still. Paradoxically, while the heart races, blood pressure crashes. There simply isn't enough fluid to fill the pipes. Stand up too fast, and gravity pulls the heavy blood down. It can't reach your brain. You stumble, vision blurs. Then comes the heat. To save water, your body shuts down its only cooling mechanism: sweating. Without sweat, trapped metabolic heat cooks you from the inside. Your core temperature begins to climb toward fever levels. You are suffering from hyperthermia. Your organs are overheating, struggling to function in this internal desert. The heart is screaming. The blood is sludge. But the next victim will be the master of the house, the brain. By hour 24, your body makes a desperate calculation. To keep the heart pumping that sludge, it needs fluid from somewhere else. It turns to the largest reservoir of water available, your brain cells. It begins to siphon moisture out of your neurons to fill your veins. This causes the brain tissue to physically shrink. It pulls away from the skull, creating a vacuum gap inside your head. But the brain is anchored to the skull by pain-sensitive membranes called meninges. As the brain shrinks, it pulls these anchors tight. Imagine pulling on a sunburn. That is exactly what is happening inside your skull. This triggers the worst headache known to man. Cognitive function nosedives. Concentration evaporates. You try to think, but the connections are broken. You become irrationally angry or confused. The neurons are firing misfires due to severe electrolyte imbalance. To survive, the brain enters power-saving mode. It shuts down non-essential sectors like memory, logic, and patience. In severe cases, the shrinking brain can actually tear the blood vessels bridging the skull, causing internal bleeding. You are in agony, you are confused, and your head is literally collapsing. But the toxins are just getting started. Hour 36. Your kidneys, the body's filtration plant, officially go on strike. Without water pressure, the machinery simply stops. Normally, they flush out urea, ammonia, and acids into your bladder. But now, the exit route is blocked. The waste has nowhere to go but back. It reverses course, spilling directly into your bloodstream. This creates a condition called uremia. Your blood, once a life-giving river, is now a toxic sewer circulating through your veins. Your breath starts to smell like ammonia. You are literally rotting from the inside out. Acid levels in your blood spike. This burns your internal tissues, causing nausea and uncontrollable vomiting. Irony at its cruelest. You are dying of thirst, yet your body tries to expel liquid it doesn't have. Look at your skin. Without water to plump up the cells, the collagen structure collapses. This is the skin turgor test. If you pinch your skin, it doesn't snap back. It stays molded like dry clay. Your eyes sink deep into your skull as the protective fluid cushions behind them evaporate. Your tongue swells to twice its size, turning a sickly white. It feels like a piece of sandpaper choking you. The toxins now begin to attack your nervous system. You feel phantom itching, as if bugs are crawling under your skin. Joints grind together without lubrication. Every movement is sharp agony. You stop moving. Your internal light is fading. The energy required to keep vital organs running is dropping to zero. You are toxic, you are burning, and you are broken. But the final torture isn't physical. It is what your dying eyes are about to show you. The oasis you see is a cruel trick. Your desperate brain is projecting your deepest desire onto the physical world. You reach out to drink, but your hand passes through. The water dissolves into digital dust. You are alone. Inside, the final collapse begins. It is called hypovolemic shock. There simply isn't enough blood left to fill your veins. To keep the brain alive for one last minute, your body makes a ruthless decision. It cuts off power to everything else. The liver dies first, then the gut. Without oxygen, your organs don't just stop working, they turn necrotic. Your heart beats faster and faster, fluttering like a trapped bird, trying to pump air instead of liquid. Simultaneously, your internal temperature breaches 42 degrees Celsius. The proteins in your cells begin to cook and unravel. And then, silence. The heart muscle seizes. The electrical signals stop forever. Oxygen supply to the brain is cut. The lights go out. Consciousness fades into the eternal void. You are now just a dry husk, a biological machine that ran out of fuel in the middle of the desert. This is the end. But what if you found a bottle at the very last second? You are saved, right? Wrong. If you find water after 70 hours of severe dehydration, your instinct is to chug the entire bottle. Do not do it. This sudden flood of fresh water into a high-salt environment triggers a deadly reaction called water intoxication. Your shrunken cells, desperate for moisture, absorb the water too quickly. Like a dry sponge in a bucket, they swell up and burst. In the brain, this swelling has nowhere to go inside the rigid skull. The pressure crushes your brain stem. You survive the desert only to die from the first sip. It's called cerebral edema. The correct way to survive? Take small sips every 15 minutes. Give your body hours to rebalance the chemistry slowly. Water is life, but biology respects balance. Never shock the system, even when it's begging you to. Are you hydrated right now? Go get a glass of water. Your kidneys will thank you. Curious about what happens if you eat only meat for 30 days? Subscribe to Science of You, and we will find out together.